This is activity 1-1 on page number 10, navigating within a Word document. At the top of page 10, it tells us that our data file that we will be working with is called Building with Heart. Our scenario, Building with Heart, is a nonprofit volunteer organization that helps families in need buy affordable, safe, and healthy homes. It is located in the fictional city of Green City, Richland. As a Building with Heart staff member, you are going to write a cover letter to accompany a fact sheet that you are sending out to a potential supporter. You will start by opening and examining the brochure. Number 1, open the fact sheet from the Windows desktop. So right now I am logged in to the BARPC training server. So this is considered my desktop. From here, I'm going to go down to my File Explorer. So that's that icon on your taskbar at the bottom. It looks like a little manila folder, and you can single click on that to open it. And from here in the left-hand pane, we want to click on this PC. All of our documents that we'll be working on through all of our courses, they're going to be saved in your home drive. So that is the drive that has your first initial and last name. So here's my home drive, eGroff. So again, all of our documents will be coming from there. And anytime you're saving any documents, you want to save them somewhere in your home drive as well. Even if you're making a personal document, you can create a personal folder and store it in there, but make sure to keep it somewhere on the home drive. So if you log into a different number server, it's not going to save to the actual computer for that server. It's going to save to the drive, and you'll be able to access it from any particular server or computer. Okay, so that's important going forward. Always work in your home drive. Okay, I'm going to double click to open up my home drive. Now, this is Word Part 1 that we're starting with. So if I scroll down, you can see I have a Word Part 1 folder, Part 2, and Part 3. So we have 3 full weeks that we will be studying Word, a book for each week. So you should have 3 textbooks for Word. So I'm going to open up the Word Part 1 folder because that's what textbook we're working on. And now you get a bunch of subfolders. These are all your different chapters throughout that Word Part 1 textbook. And the titles of the subfolders correspond to the titles of each chapter. So if you look at the bottom of page 10, it tells us that we're in lesson 1 or chapter 1, getting started with Word 2019. So you can see I have my subfolder here. So any documents that I'm working on within lesson 1 are going to be located in this particular subfolder. So I'm going to double click to open that up. And I have 2 files here, Building with Heart and Notes from Brainstorming Session. So number 1 in activity 1-1 tells us to open Building with Heart. And I can do that by double clicking on it. And it's going to launch Word 2019 for me with that particular document. Okay, so we have Building with Heart. Now yours might open like this, where it's kind of not taking up the whole screen. If it does that, just click on your maximize button in your top right hand corner. So that's that square next to your close button. You have minimize and maximize. So you can just maximize that to take up the whole screen. Number 2, identify the major components of the Word application window. So up in the top left-hand corner, here's our quick access toolbar. Then this major toolbar, which goes through all of the different Microsoft programs. That's our ribbon. Then up at the top where it says Building with Heart, that's the title of the document we're working on. So this is our title bar up top. Down at the bottom where it says page 1 of 1, and the amount of words. That is our status bar. Then all the way towards the right, we have our scroll bar. Okay, so those are the major components of the Word application window. And taking a look back at our ribbon, up top we have our ribbon tabs: Home, Insert, Draw, Design, Layout, Reference, Mailings, Review, View, Help. And this, as we're going along, you may see that mine are different. Remember that the ribbon is customizable, so I may down the line add tabs that I work with on a daily basis. So you may see that it changes over time, but just remember that it is customizable. So up at the top are our ribbon tabs. We have our Tell Me text box. Then within each ribbon tab, along the bottom, we have our ribbon command groups. So here on the Home tab, we have clipboard, font, paragraph, styles, and editing. Then within each group are our ribbon commands. Okay, so tab, group, commands. Number 3 says to adjust the document view. On the ribbon, we're going to select our View tab. The ribbon is organized into tabs. Each tab is further organized into command groups. A variety of groups are shown under the View tab, including Views, our Show group, Zoom, Window, and Macros. And you can see I have a few additional groups. Yours may not show these. Don't worry. Again, if they don't match up identical, I'm not sure if you will have the immersive group and the SharePoint group on yours. Don't worry about that. As long as you have your default ones, again, Views, Shows, Zoom, Windows, Macros. Always remember these things are customizable. Letter B, examine the various view modes shown in our Views group. So we have Read mode, Print layout, we have Web layout, Outline, and Draft. We're going to switch over to our Draft view by clicking on that Command button. The Draft view is good to use when you want to focus on typing, creating your rough draft, because it is fast, streamlined, and it hides graphics. Now we're going to switch to our Web layout view. This view is good to use if the ultimate destination for your page is the web, because it shows how the document will appear if published as a web page. Now we're going to switch over to our Read mode. You can see that my ribbon has changed in Read mode. This is optimized for reading long, largely textual documents. You can see we have our actual scroll arrows to the side here. And don't forget, when you're exiting from your Read mode, all you have to do is go back up to your collapsed ribbon, View, and Edit Document. It will automatically switch you back to your Print layout view, and you'll have your full ribbon tabs back. So the Print layout view is the view you'll be working with for the most part. It's kind of like your default view in Word. And this view is good for general editing and document creation and preparing a document for printing, because it shows all graphics, formatting, page breaks, and layout, simulating what you'd see if you printed the document. Number 4, get help changing the zoom level of a document. Observe how much of the document you can see in the document area. So you can see right now, let me move this out of the way. I don't know if it'll come up on your screen. I have an updates box here I have to close out of. Okay, there we go. Observe how much of the document you can see in the document area. So right now, the zoom that I'm at is 147%. And you can only see maybe about a third of a page at a time on my screen. So we can always adjust the zoom of any document if we want to, see more or less of a document. The more you zoom in, the less of it you'll see. The farther out you zoom out, the more of the document layout that you'll see. So depending on your monitor size and dimensions, you can probably see only a small portion of a page. You could see more if you zoom out to change the scaling of the document. So we're going to go up to our ribbon and click in our Tell Me text box. So it's that little light bulb and it says tell me what you want to do. And we're going to type in zoom without pressing enter. The Tell Me text box is at the top center of the ribbon just below the title bar. As you type, a live search feature provides a list of suggested commands and an option to view help and smart lookup. So we're going to select Get Help on Zoom. So that's the little question mark towards the bottom. And you can see you get a submenu that pops up as well with a few options. Additional links to articles about Zoom appear in a second menu. Select one of the help articles. If you get a help article that says zoom in or out of a document, presentations, or worksheets, you can click on that one. So this opens up our help pane. Yours may open up to the right of your document. It may open up to the left document. It might even be floating on top of your document. Either way, as long as it opens up. Don't worry about the location of it. You can scroll up and down to read the article. This feature provides one way to get help in Word. So you can see it gives you a little quick blurb about zooming in or out. It shows you your zoom bar, which is down here on your status bar. All right, so if you ever need help about a specific command, you could use that tell me what you want, that tell me text box. Type in the command name and open up an article and just read the little blurb about it. Okay, so we're going to click the X in the top right corner of our help pane. Make sure you're clicking this X and not the one for your document. We just want to close the pane. Number 5, use Tell Me to quickly find a word command. So we're going to click in that Tell Me text box again, and we're going to type in Zoom. Again, don't press enter on that. Items in the top group of results are actual word commands that you can select. So you can see the options that they give you are zoom, view whole page, see multiple pages, fit to window width, and set zoom to 100%. So these are actual commands that are on our ribbon. All right, so we're going to select view whole page. The document scales so that one page fits completely within the application window. The trade-off for seeing a whole page is that the text is very small. So it makes it, well, for me, not readable at all with my eyesight. We're going to click in the Tell Me text box again. And you can see now we have a recently used section. So I've used the zoom command recently, so that's coming up. And that also that view whole page command is now coming up as well. So if you ever want to use it again quickly, it'll come up in your recently used. You just click in the Tell Me box. I'm going to press Escape to exit that Tell Me text box. The Tell Me feature is very handy when you can't find a command in Word's ribbon. On the other hand, you will still want to become familiar with commands on the ribbon, as it will typically be faster to access a command from the ribbon than to type its name in the Tell Me box. Now, number 6 on page 12 is an optional step. This all depends if you have a mouse with a wheel on it. So something that it's like literally looks like a little wheel where you can roll it. Not all mouses have that. So if you don't have that, just skip the step, but you can watch what it does. It says use the mouse wheel to quickly navigate among ribbon tabs. So instead of clicking on each tab using my left mouse button, if you have a wheel, you could use that scroll wheel and you can see it quickly scrolls through the different tabs. It will not scroll to the Tell Me text box, and it will not scroll to the File tab for Backstage View. But all of your other main tabs, you can scroll through for that. This provides a quick way to scan for a particular command in the ribbon without having to select each tab. Number 7, size the document to fit the application window. On the ribbon, we're going to select the View tab, and it says in the Zoom group, observe the various scaling commands. We have Zoom where you can specify the percentage. You can automatically go to 100%, one page, multiple pages, or page width. We're going to select multiple pages. So right now we're at view whole page, one page. I'm going to select multiple. The document is scaled so that now you can see two pages at once. If you take a look down at your Zoom bar, mine is showing 45, can't even see it, 45%. Yours is more than likely going to show a different percentage. Again, this all depends on things like monitor size, your actual Windows zoom, like how big you have your text. So don't worry if your zoom percentage is different. More than likely it will be. But mine is set at 45%. So this zoom level is shown as a percent of the document's actual size, and controls are provided for you to change the zoom level. And again, your percent value may be different from the one shown here. So the textbook is actually showing 56%. So even mine is different from that. So it says in letter D, select the zoom minus control several times to make the document pages appear smaller. As you zoom out, you get a better overall sense of page structure and layout, but text may become more difficult to read. So I'm going to hit that minus sign to zoom out a few times. So mine was already impossible to read for me. Look how much worse it is as you zoom out. But if you had, let's say you were working on a 10-page paper, as you're zooming out, you're able to see the actual structure of the document, that it is 10 pages. I can see that I have a border around my pages. I can see my graphics on each page. So the structure becomes more visible, but the text becomes much, much smaller. So now I'm going to hit my plus sign to zoom in. As you zoom in, you can see more detail, but not as much overall structure and page layout. And fewer pages can be shown at one time. So as I'm zooming in, it's actually going to change to one page and then just zoom in on that. So the text becomes easier to read, but the page structure you can see less detail of. All right, step 7F on the View tab in the Zoom group, we're going to select page width. So View tab, Zoom group, page width. The page zooms to a size that fits the page between the left and right edges. So you can see it's going to the left and right of my screen now. In many situations, this is an ideal view for editing and reading a document, as it enables you to see the full document width with the text that is typically large enough to read. Number 8, use the scroll bars to navigate the document. Try out each of these controls in the scroll bar and observe the result. So if I select over here on my scroll bar to the right here, if I hit my scroll down arrow, it's going to navigate me down one line at a time in my document. So you can see that zooms very slow. If I do my up arrow, goes up one line of my document at a time. Now if I hit below my scroll bar in this empty space beneath it, if I click once, it's going to scroll down one screen size at a time. So that's one screen. So that's much quicker to scroll. And if I click above that scroll bar, it's going to scroll up one screen at a time. And then I can also actually click and hold my left mouse button down and just click and drag that scroll bar to wherever I want to be. So I'm going to drag that right between where page 1 ends and page 2 begins. So this moves you halfway through the document where you can see the page break between pages 1 and 2. Number 9, use the keyboard to navigate the document. We're going to press page up. This moves you up the document one screen at a time, and then we have page down, which scrolls you down one screen at a time. Now, Control and the word end, E-N-D. Control End should bring you to the end of the document. With these keyboard shortcuts, some keyboards are different. For example, mine, you have to hit Control and the Function key and the word end, and that will bring you to the very end of the document. And then Control and Home on most will bring you to the beginning of the document. Mine, I have to do Control and Function Home, and that brings me to the beginning. So it really depends on your keyboard. You might have to try a few things out. All right. So now number 10, use the navigation pane to navigate the document. If your navigation pane is not showing, which more than likely it's not, you're going to go up to your View tab, and in your Show command group, you're going to click in this empty box and check it off for the navigation pane. So here you can see my navigation pane is open in the left hand, to the left of my document now. Again, yours may open to the right of your document. It may be hovering above the document, whichever is fine. So you have 3 tabs in your navigation pane: Headings, Pages, and Results. You want to make sure you're on your Headings tab. And this shows a list of headings in the document. You can select these headings to navigate to the corresponding section in the document. And it wants us to navigate to Who Can Volunteer. So you can see it brought my cursor right to that heading. And letter D in the navigation pane, we're going to select the Pages heading. A listing of pages is shown for navigation purposes. It says to select page number 2. The document is scrolled so that the top of page 2 appears at the top of the screen. Number 11, use search to navigate the document. In the navigation pane, you're going to select the search document text box, which is right here. You're just going to click once into that, and we're going to type the word volunteer. Shows us that 10 results are found. So if I click on that results heading, I can actually see those results. Results matching your search for volunteer are shown. Short passages surrounding the found text are provided to give context. If your display screen is too short to show the entire list, the results list will provide a scroll bar. So you can see mine is much longer. I can just scroll down to see the rest of the 10 results. If your results list has a scroll bar, scroll to the bottom of the list to see more matches, and then select various items in the results list to jump to that location. So I can click on to know anything about construction to be a volunteer, and it shows that particular word is actually grayed out over the highlighting of all volunteers, so that's a little darker. And I can scroll to the first option, and it's going to bring me to the top of the document. So 12, use the various navigation techniques introduced in this activity to quickly examine the document and get a general idea of the information it contains. So you can just use this as a way of practicing navigating. Check out your ribbon, all your commands and command groups, test out your navigation pane however you want. And when you're through, you can close out your navigation bar by your navigation pane by clicking that X. And you're going to leave this document open for the next activity.